Welcome, everyone. It's great to be back for episode 9. I'm Jodie Fielden. I'm joined by my work wife, bestie, and business partner, Adri Varga. During these podcasts, we share with you how you can leverage your passion into profit. Whether you're looking to launch into the next phase, take time away from the floor, or you're looking to sell your business and cash out your investment, you're in the right place because we've done it all. And we're here to share with you that you can too, because it's time to believe your business can be everything you ever wanted.
Absolutely right. Hi, everyone, and welcome back. And we are very excited about today's episode. Today's episode is a carry on from our last episode when we were talking about our systems and the iceberg method.
That's right. Audrey, let's talk about mindset and how that fits into the iceberg method when it comes to seeing how we see ourselves in our business. Because it's Liz said something to me the other day about it, and I want to know the role that your mindset plays when someone is transitions from being a skilled professional who owns a business to a business owner who's a skilled professional.
Yeah. So that is, I think, a quite big difference between the two because one is the one mindset can lead a passion-based business, and the other mindset can lead a foundation-based business.
What is the difference between, we say, a passion-based business and a foundation-based business? What's the difference? What is a passion-based business?
I think when we start, most of us, when we start our business, we starting our business out of passion, isn't it? Like we start our business because we love what we do, but we want a little bit more in order, like we want a little bit more freedom. We want to make decision. We want to look after our clients the way we want. And we start this business with a really, really big passion. And we driving and making decision based on our passion, not based on any business skills, but say a business based mindset would make or would drive a business. So the biggest difference is the way we are making businesses, making decisions, and the way we are running our business.
Yeah, look, I think with our industry, the hair and beauty, the wellness, or any trade, so any industry where you go and learn a skill and you learn those skills and you learn how to master those skills. But there's nowhere at TAFE, when you're learning hairdressing, when you're doing, say, your instructor's course or your building apprenticeship, they don't teach you how to run a business. They teach you how to be a tradesperson or an instructor, or a practitioner, for like people like physiotherapists. And even if they go to uni and they learn about physio and the body and everything, they're still not being taught how to run a business. Whereas I think if you see the people that go to uni to learn business, they have a completely different, they're there for the love of the business. We're there for the love of what we do.
Yes, and that's very well said because that's basically true for 95% of us. Like who we are passionate about what we are doing, we love what we are doing, and this is our challenge actually when it comes to business. All right, so we have this big passion, we have this big picture. Let's start a business, and then we keep elevating our skills. Like we keep do different trainings when it comes to our skill level, but somehow we miss the point that we should to get some training about how to run a business, how to run a profitable business, or how to manage team, or how to do marketing. Like we don't have any idea about this because our passion drives us. But based on working with many business owners in different industries, what we can see, and I'm 100% sure you agree with me, Jodie, that passion takes us probably for 3 years maximum, 3 years into our business maximum, isn't it?
It does, because you've got all the excitement, you've got all the drive, you've got all these fresh ideas that you're wanting to implement and use and try, and so it's the honeymoon period, those first 3 years, and I think also we are learning from what we've watched our bosses do, what our employers did. It's been, a copy, rinse and repeat. Oh, well, this is how they did the till of an afternoon. This is how they set their prices. This is how they hired people. This is how they treated people. Like this is how they treated employees. So I think it's all learnt behaviors instead of going and learning the facts of the layers and the steps of, which is what you teach in the iceberg method, is all the different layers and the different steps that you need to follow to be able to function as a business owner, not a professional who owns a business.
Yes, absolutely. And our iceberg method represents our mindset, beliefs, and solutions. And this is why we like to teach that way everything regarding business, because when it comes to the iceberg method, most people, when they start their business, or even when they are in their business, they really focusing on the surface. And on the surface is the surface level of thinking or mindset about it. I just need more clients, so I will be fine. Then I can get more money. And this is when they actually get into this rabbit hole, because having more client is not necessarily your solution for your problem.
That's right. And I love it when you draw you do this drawing. I wish we had have had it up here for today. And you've got the water line and you've got the top of the iceberg with the little stick figure there throwing all the money away, like,
Yes,
yeah, have
yes,
a discount, have, like you're just throwing all this money away trying to find more clients. And then when you look underneath the surface, it's like an actual iceberg that sank the Titanic, like you can see the enormity. I can't even speak today. I'm tongue tied
yeah.
still. The enormity of all the different layers the different areas. And when you were talking about, just before, when you were talking about the mindset, and I think you were saying what was it? The mindset, the beliefs, and the solutions. I think
Yeah.
it's important about how all those things come together with not just the function, the steps, and the functionality.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I think really when it comes to the iceberg method, uh, this is where normally we all find ourselves. We have this business, we run it with passion, and then we hit the wall, and we don't know, like what else to do, because our passion takes us so far. But as you mentioned, like we copying others, we keep copying others, and we asking questions from other business owners in the wrong environment who has exactly the same problem what we have, and we are expecting them to give us the right answer. And the problem is, they give us some answers based on their experience and their beliefs, and then many times we run by it, and we implement it in our business and it doesn't work. And then after a while it gets really tiring, and it's very interesting because we keep booking trainings and keep training ourselves for our trade. We want to be better hairdressers, we want to be better cutters, better colorists, better instructors, and somehow we don't think about how we can become better business owners. How can I understand more what I need to do to make this business to work? And I can eventually stop chasing my own tail and being confused, overwhelmed, overworked, and very tired.
Yeah, I feel like you were saying before, people go out when they hit that wall, they most of the time they think I need more clients,
Mm.
and they start chasing that. And it's it's uh it gets into this cycle, of the discounts and everything like that. And but they never I guess it's that wall of like, how do we get them to realize that it's not the clients, it's everything else that's below the surface? Because I find, especially in our industries, people are really headstrong about they don't want to believe that it's the other stuff that is probably all the boring stuff, like all the hard. They're really stuck in that. No, no, it's just the clients.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the truth, and we are our aim, our mission, you and me, we are working on changing our industry and helping people to understand business, because really, when you don't have a business skill, you just swing it every single day and you hope for the best. It's almost like throwing mud to the wall, and you hope one day is going to like stick in the wall. And it's not really a good business practice. It's very tiring, very overwhelming. And you are very right. When I'm drawing the iceberg method, on the top there is little stick man, and they just holding like a little table, like discounted services 50% off, and in a way they are drawing money away, because the what they believe, if they lower their value, then they're going to get more clients, and in that way they can build a business. And I always challenge this belief system, because you need to think about who you're going to invite in your business when you lowering your price, when you are going to give discounts away. And is this really the best business practice to attract clients to your business? And the other thing is what we both know really well. Many times business owners, they're focusing on getting more clients and more clients. And all the clients who are already, loyal to the business, they forgot about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's true. They have clients and they're like, oh no, it's okay. They've been with me for years. They're not going anywhere. And then all of a sudden one day they're really surprised that Joycey left because and you see her walking down the street and she's got a completely new do, or something like that. So it's it's a big thorn in my paw that business owners often forget about the clients that have been with them for a long time and kind of take them for granted. But I want to just come back around to the mindset thing. Is we were talking before off air about the poverty mindset and the prosperity mindset, and how that actually is the biggest transition for business owners, especially coming into things like recession.
Yeah.
Over in America, I was looking at one of the Facebook groups this morning, and elections are coming up and all that kind of thing. But they're getting lots of cancellations. People aren't spending money. All this negativity, like everything was just negativity. There was no positivity around it. So it'd be really interesting to see how like the positive and prosperity mindset can reflect in there.
Yeah, so our business always reflects our beliefs and our mindset, our belief systems. Yeah. So whatever business you have right now, it's a pure reflection of, who you are, your mindset, what you think is possible for you, what are your limitations. Your business reflects that. And there is two different mindset. One is prosperity mindset and the other is poverty mindset. And this is actually the mindset what we have. It is setting our business up for success or failure. And if you at the moment thinking about, oh, probably I have a poverty mindset, and you're thinking about yourself, oh my God, like I'm in a big trouble. It is actually the first step is awareness. If you actually just realize I might have a poverty mindset, then awareness is first step, and then you can transition from poverty mindset to prosperity mindset. And that's a very, very good news, because you don't need to stay where you are at right now. And it comes back again to the mindset. When you have an open mindset, when you say, all right, so whatever I'm doing, it doesn't work, and I don't really attract the clients I want. So what am I doing not right? What am I doing what is not helping me to grow? And also what we need to understand, these two mindsets, they attract two different market, two different type of clientele. Poverty mindset attracts poverty-minded people, which means, you know, like all the people who looking for discounts, looking for specials, they're going to go to people who are lowering their prices, lowering their value, because they believe that that's all what is available for them. And then when you have a prosperity mindset, you're going to attract very, very different clientele. You have your value mindset, your growth mindset, and this is when you're going to attract people who are more looking for value. And the two market does not mix. And you as a business owner, or you as a person, you don't have the two mindset together. You either or. It's not mixing together. And once you make a decision that you don't want to be anymore, you know, in a poverty mindset, once you start to work on yourself, you start to work on your business, and it's slowly a transformation going to start to happen in your business. And many times, you know, business owners are saying to me, oh my God, but if I change my mind and if I change my business structure, I will lose my business, I will lose everyone. And it doesn't happen that quickly. So you are in a safe place, because it's just a transformation, and your whole clientele going to grow with you through your own transformation, and also your team is going to go through that transformation. And again, poverty minded business owners, they attract very, very different team members versus the prosperity minded business owners, who are attracting very, very different type of team members also.
Yeah, look, a good example of someone that's confused between the two. Again, it was one of those Facebook groups, and I was watching how often people were screaming about uh, people not valuing them, not wanting to pay their worth, not, you know, like, I'm going to fire that client and respect my boundaries and all this sort of stuff. But it's all, which are all things that we say, but it's shrouded in negativity and resentment and aggression, instead
Mm,
of it being in coming from a place of, I want to elevate.
mm,
They don't want to be attracting all this negativity, but because they're so negative themselves, that's what they're attracting into their business. And it's a really interesting phenomena to watch, because we know that the industries need to evolve from this, and people want to move away from the poverty mindset about, you know, discounting and people not valuing them. I don't know if you can hear that, but Rufus is having a chat in the background. I'm really sorry, guys. No, I can hear Adriana's birds. um, so, but coming back from that is that I think a lot of people don't understand what a poverty mindset sounds like or looks like from the inside. Can you just explain a little bit more about the kind of, because I the kind of thoughts that someone who has a poverty mindset, what are their thought patterns? Because someone may not realize that that thought pattern is actually a poverty mindset thought pattern.
Yeah, so most of the time, people with a poverty mindset, they are in the blame and excuses layer. You know, like they find excuses for many things, and also they blaming others for different circumstances. So this is the major thing when someone is in a poverty mindset. And also we tend to forget that we are in the service industry. So we are here to serve our clientele. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't have any boundaries, but the negative chit chat in our mind is not helping us, or, you know, like being like the way just you mentioned, Jodie, before, you know, like all the language what some of the business owners are using, you know, we want to fire clients, everyone is difficult, you know, and all those things. Then we need to look into ourselves, you know, like why am I attracting all those difficult clients? What is my part in that those clients keep coming back, and why am I stuck in this position? It is challenging for a poverty mindset to analyze it, because um, normally when it happens, we start to blame others for it. So we never see that it is actually comes back to us, and that's the challenge for the poverty mindset. Can you change it? Absolutely, you can change it, but it's again comes back to awareness. But I just wanted to go back very quickly because that was very important when you were talking about. Please remember, all of us, we need to remember, we are in a service-based industry. So we are here to serve. And this is when we need to see the business and the clients from a very, very different perspective, from a very, very different way. How can I serve my clients better? And in the same time, set my very clear boundaries and clearly articulate my values, and my pricing is going to reflect my values. And this is very, very important when it comes to one of the driving element of our business. And this is one of our foundation of the 7 layers of the iceberg. And when business owners have a poverty mindset, then they will think very differently from pricing and from clients and attracting the clients compared to when someone has a prosperity mindset.
Yeah, they do. They think very differently about it. And I've noticed people that have the poverty mindset start making assumptions about what someone will pay or can pay for something. You tell that story of one of the clients that was at the front counter, and she used to pay for her hair. Each week she'd come in for her blow dry, and it'd be the same amount, and they'd have the exact same of the exact change in the purse. Do you want to tell that story? Because that's your story.
Yeah, so that wasn't actually my story. That was one of my business coach's story. Like when I had a business coach for my hair salon, and that was actually her client. She looked after the same lady, like week in and week out, a regular client coming back. And she always had the right exact money ready in her purse to pay for the services. And she, like my business mentor, just assumed, like that this lady had, like very, very tough budget. And that was the reason why she was, getting ready always with the right amount of money. And then she had a business mentor, and that business mentor gave her a task and told to her, look, let's work on educating your clients, looking after your clients the same way. Every single client, no judgment on your side, because that's the thing. We assume what they can or what they want to spend money on. And so their agreement was that but my business mentor going to treat every single client, doesn't really matter what they think. They're going to offer 3 products for those clients, and then they will see, like how it goes. So this lady came in really oldie, like having the service, and then my business mentor was following, the system. And very surprisingly, this lady was like, oh my God, I never thought, like I could have this service. Like she was just so blown away. She was so happy. And she bought all 3 products. So at the counter, they went to the counter, and this lady, instead of the one side of the purse where was exactly the money counted exactly, it was another side of the purse, and it was like plenty of $50 bills in there. So that was a really big learning. And the reason this old lady was always exact with the money, because she wanted that exchange to be fast, because she knew the girls were really busy. So she didn't want them to, to muck around with, giving back some change or anything. So, the moral of the story is really that we many times blocking our clients from the opportunity to giving them the best service and the best advice we know. And when it comes to poverty mindset, we always think, oh, they can't afford it. Like I was struggling with a couple of my team members, because they based their beliefs or they based, like When it came to selling retail, they did not sell retail when, say, a service was costing more than $200. And when I was, like asking, like, what's going on here? And they will say, well, they're already paying so much for the service. I'm 100% sure they don't have the extra money for retail. And this is how you limit yourself. And that's one thing that you limit yourself. But the other thing, which is, I think, is completely wrong, not to give out information for your clients so they can make a decision if that product or service is right for them.
Yeah, look, I've been through I've been through a recession, and we've been through the a lot of back in 2008, and we went through the pandemic, and we're going into this one again. And the one thing that's always been constant for me is not making assumptions about what people will or won't spend their money on.
Yeah.
I don't value, say, makeup as much as I do uh, my Camilla,
Yeah.
and so I will go without expensive makeup to purchase that dress. Or I'm a sunglasses girl, so I'm quite happy to wear thongs if I can have my really expensive sunglasses. Like, don't make assumptions about what someone else can or can't afford, because one, it's rude. Because I get really offended. I get offended if, what do you mean? I may be doing the my husband calls it the Graham calls it, what is it, the homeless chic. Like, I go out and I look like a homeless person with bare feet running down the shop, which is a very Australian thing to do for our listeners over in America and the UK. We run around barefoot. Adriana, being European, does not run around. Oh, well, she's getting better. You do a little bit now in Copa, you know. Now you've evolved to the barefoot Aussie beach life. But
Yeah.
I run around looking like I couldn't rub 2 cents together quite often.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if someone assumed that I couldn't buy something uh, that I wanted, I'd be really offended. And I think you do the analogy all the time of the medicine, like medication with the doctor.
Yeah. So when I teach people about, and their teams about retail, I always say, just think about, like, if you are sick and you're going to a doctor, you're going to a practitioner, and you tell to the practitioner what is your problem, and the practitioner is just going to look at you and would say, like, I don't think Adri can pay for the most expensive medication. I just going to recommend the medication which is, more affordable. It will do the trick. It's not going to be the 100% good, but I don't think she can afford it. The doctor doesn't care. The doctor just going to write you the prescription which is best for you, and off you go and you take that medication. And it's exactly the same, like, when you have clients, especially when you have clients in the chair and you are a hairdresser, and clients sitting next to each other, they actually listen. They actually have awareness of the environment. And say you have a client, you believe that that client would not be able to pay for a treatment, or they would not buy shampoo and conditioner, and you're never going to do the consultation like you do a consultation with, say, Katie in the next chair, and then you're going to give them a completely different service because you're going to run a completely different consultation, because Katie is easy, Katie is always open, and Katie is going to buy. And just imagine yourself in that person who is sitting next to Katie, who is a little bit more shy. You don't have that much of that much of relationship with that client, and then because you believe that client is not interested, you won't give the same service. It's absolutely wrong. And this is when it comes back to systems, and we already talked about systems in a previous episode. But consultations need to follow systems also.
Yeah, and that's not just in hair and beauty. That's in the Pilates and things like that. Uh, the consultation and the system for how you carry out that consultation is important. But we've digressed and gotten off topic a little bit. I want to come back and talk about the poverty mindset, the prosperity. We've dived into the poverty side. I want to dive into the prosperity and how people, once they realize, because we always in our workshops and the masterclasses and when we do our retreats, the first thing people say is like, I didn't realize that I was thinking that way. I don't want to be like that anymore. How can they, what sort of language can they start using for themselves to slowly start transitioning the way they think into the prosperity side of the mindset?
Well, yeah, language is everything. That's for sure. But it's really, we need to start to work on ourselves, how we see business, and how we see clients, and how we see our value. And it's not easy. It's only becomes easy once you step into that process, and it's consistency. Because maybe in the beginning you would think, like, oh, if I say all these positive things, and if I work towards all these positive things, like maybe you would think like, oh, I'm just saying this, but like it's not really what I'm thinking. But I always say, like, you need to pretend it until you become that person. And when you work towards to become prosperity, it comes back, the way you are thinking about your clients. And that's a very, very major point, because um, many times when it comes to poverty, we think and we believe, like times are not like it was, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. People, they don't spend money. But when it comes to prosperity mindset, we know if we provide value, we're going to find the right people, and we're going to attract the right people to the business. But then in the same time, we need to think about it. All right, so what are those people looking in a business when we provide a service? And what is the missing part in my business? And this is when we really need to switch to that element, when maybe we are very passionate about our business, but we don't really know what we are doing. And then we need to think about, well, where can I find the right answer? Am I going to find my right answer if I'm going to ask my friend who is struggling with exactly the same thing? Or I'm going to look for another business owner who already made it, and maybe ask, like, can you share with me how you did it? Or you actually looking for someone who teaching people, or teaching same business owners just like you, how to elevate and how to move to the next level.
And talking about asking in all the wrong places, the question that is asked the most in the worst place possible to be asking the advice is about pricing. So I think we're coming to the end of this podcast, because I've just looked at the clock and you've got a client in 7 minutes. You've got a coaching
Yeah.
client, so you need to run. And so next week, we're going to take a bit of a dive into pricing and that layer of the iceberg method, where we can find out where to ask the right questions about pricing, and where to start if you realize that you need to get your pricing right.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that's going to be a very, very interesting subject, because this is big subject, even in Facebook groups, or even when we just speak to business owners. They are very confused about how much should I charge for this, how much should I charge for that. So in our next episode, we're definitely going to get into the nitty-gritty of pricing.
All right, it sounds good. So if that's us for today. So if you're ready to either level up or cash out, or you'd like to learn more about our signature growth techniques and winning formulas, you can jump onto our website, www.focusgdt.com, and register. I can't even speak today. Register for Adri's training session there. So in this training session, she will be taking a closer look at client attraction, and there's pricing, there's lots of really good information in that training. So, but you need to be quick. It's only free until the timer runs out. And once the timer runs out, it'll be $97.
Yes, and also don't forget, guys, about our quizzes. We have one quizzes for salon owners called Mastering Salon Excellence. When you take the quiz, you will reveal your signature growth formula and receive a personalized salon success quiz report, which is unique to you. And for studio owners, it's called Elevating Your Studio. And when you take that quiz, you will learn the secret to turning your passion into prosperity. And also you're going to receive your personalized studio success quiz report.
That's right. So that's us, guys. We're going to see you next episode. Now you watch. I'll get this wrong like I always do. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Our handle is @FocusGDT. And oh, look, I got it right. Yay!
Yes,
We'll say
absolutely. You're
goodbye.
getting better.
We'll say goodbye for now.
Yeah, on the ninth episode.
I know. Maybe the 10th I'll get it there. We'll see you
Maybe,
later.
maybe.
Bye.